Go ahead, Charles.
Good afternoon or good evening, Coach Monken. Despite allowing 14 plus potential points to kind of slip away in the first half, coming off of 2 fumbles, you guys still went into the halftime with a 9-0 lead. But very similar to the Air Force game, it was almost like a tale of 2 halves, if you will. You guys were moving the ball effectively in the first half. Can you kind of put your finger on the pulse relative to the second half drop off?
I wish I had a great answer for you, Charles. They kind of settled into a front, and we hit some plays here and there, but nothing consistent. We had we had the ball in pretty good field position, midfield, and we get a blocking below the waist penalty, which shouldn't be blocking below the waist right there. I don't know why we did, but we did. We tried to be aggressive down there, backed up and got a holding call and got sacked and got a intentional grounding call, and just nothing seemed to be consistent. We'd hit a play and then couldn't hit another one. And it's like you said, in the first half, we moved the ball and got ourselves in scoring position, and unfortunately turned the ball over. And in the second half, we couldn't move the ball at all. So it's disappointing to miss the PAT in the first half and, give ourselves a chance to kick that field goal at the end and not get it. But I thought we were going to find a way right there. But our guys played their hearts out. They played just as hard as they could. And the defense played fantastic. Obviously, I'm disappointed with the way we played offensive football in the first half with turning the ball over, and in the second half not being able to move the ball.
Understood. And my follow-up and final question, there was an end zone pass to Isaiah Austin, which was called incomplete as opposed to a touchdown. What is that play, or was that play reviewable at all?
It was reviewable. They told me that they reviewed it.
Okay.
So I don't know if I didn't see the replay closely enough. They told me that they reviewed it, and they obviously must have agreed with the officials because they didn't stop the play. I thought they would stop it and really look at it. It seemed like one of those plays that you'd want to take a good hard look at, but we had to run the play. I could have called timeout, but timeouts are precious, and we want to just burn timeouts to challenge a call and then lose a timeout. You trust that the folks that have that job are going to do that job and look at it. And I'm assuming they did. I don't know. Did you see it?
I actually thought it was a touchdown, but I'm looking at it from a different viewpoint.
Yeah. And didn't count. So here we are.
Thanks, Coach. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Coach, Seth Mendelson, Black Knight Nation. Can you take us through the last series there when you had the ball driving towards a field goal attempt? I'm sure you want to get the ball as close as possible for the attempt. What was you seem to have a couple of runs up the middle there, with about a minute left. Can you take us through the last minute?
And we were just trying to pound it down there and felt like we needed to get it to the 30 or inside to really give him a good shot at it. He had a strong wind at his back. And despite playing so poorly in the second half, that was a good drive to give ourselves a chance to win it. And unfortunately, he just pushed it. And the PAT he missed, he hooked it to the left, and maybe he's trying to compensate for that. I don't know, but pushed it to the right. And I mean, that's not a long field goal, not for him, not for a kicker at this level. But I thought our guys did a good job at least getting us in position there.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
Hey, Coach, it's Sal from Black Knight Nation. How are you?
Hi, Sal.
Hey, I think on that pass to Isaiah Austin, they ruled that he stepped out of bounds and came back onto the field. The official threw his hat off to say that he was out of bounds first. So I don't know if that's why it was
Well,
easy reviewable.
I don't know if he was forced out of bounds or he stepped out on his
No,
own.
good point.
Stepped
Yeah.
out on his own, then he's not eligible to come back in and catch a pass. But if he was forced out, he can come back in and catch a pass.
Good point there. When the field goal there is Quinn, a left hash mark guy. Does he prefer a certain area to kick the ball or no?
No, I mean, I think the left hash is probably the preferable hash to the right if you're a right-footed kicker. So just it's the same kick. It's the same kick, whether it's on the right hash, left hash, or in the middle. It really is the same kick. You know, the goalposts narrow a little bit. Just the physics of it from one of the hashes, but he had a good look at it, and you know, went out there and took a crack at it. I hate it for him. Nobody's more disappointed than he is.
Jeff, Ken McMillan from The Record. Can you talk about Tyler's performance, especially in the first half? You know, he had a lot of great gains, making some real good calls, but then fumbled twice. So, I mean, you talk about the good and the bad.
He did. He was playing really hard. Thought he did a good job leading the offense. I'm really, really disappointed that we fumbled the ball and turned it over those 2 times. It's you got to try to win the turnover battle. It's a big factor in a game. We didn't do that. So we got some turnovers away from them, but we didn't win the turnover battle. So those were big plays, obviously.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk about playing without the likes of Leo and Marquell on defense?
Thought our defense played great. And you know, we would like to have had those guys out there, but I thought our defense played their hearts out. And I mean, coming up with the interception in the end zone by Cam Jones there on that one drive, and you know, it's 4th and 3, and they ran a corner route, and we you know, they motioned in, stacked the guy, and we got help inside, and we overplayed it. We ended up with inside leverage with the safety. You know, we'd like to have them in outside leverage there, and that's where they threw it. And but you know, to give up 10 points in that game and fight like they did, I thought our defense did a great job, even without those 2 guys.
Mm-hmm. Last thing, can you just talk about moving forward from here?
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're going to move forward. We're going to keep fighting. We're going to move forward and go back to Mikey Stadium for Senior Day and try to play a great football game next weekend against a really good UConn team. And they've been really impressive in how much they've improved from a year ago and how well they're playing right now.
Thanks, Jeff.
Anything else for Coach Monken?
Coach Joe Londergan with Underdog Dynasty. I asked Tyre how he just whether or not he's thinking ahead to maintaining bowl eligibility by winning out, and he said it was taking one game at a time. How do you kind of keep your guys focused on that mindset with you know, needing to win out to reach another?
We just need to win next week. That's all that is important, is winning next week, and anything beyond that is of no consequence right now. We got one game, and it's the most important game of the year, and so we're going to try to just concentrate on that and focus on that and go win.
Is it any solace that in this game you limited Troy to their fewest total offensive yards yet this year?
No.
Fair enough. Last question. Carlton Marshall on Troy broke the FBS career record for tackles in this game. Any thoughts on his performance in this one and the career he's had?
Congratulations to him. He's a terrific player. He's well coached, and it's quite a feat.